What's going on? Travis here, TravisStelzel.com, TrainAggressive.com, coming to you. Day number 5, 12 Days of Badassness Challenge. And if you've been following along, the days are starting to get a little bit tougher now, and it's not getting any easier with day number 5. All right, what we're going to be adding into the mix on day number 5 is 5 barbell thrusters. All right, and you're going to go with the heaviest amount of weight that you can go. All right, and with barbell thrusters, I'm going to go over some tips and tricks with this movement to help you out with this. But just like any of the other movements, if you're not yet up to that level on doing barbell thrusters, make sure you work your progressions. Feel free to swap in any other type of strength tool. So you can go dumbbell thrusters, double kettlebell thrusters. You can even go sandbag thrusters if you wanted to. All right, but the highest level progression is going to be barbell thruster, and if you can manage it, putting your body weight on the barbell, doing thrusters with that weight, that's some beast level strength right there. All right, so with the barbell thruster, a couple things to keep in mind before getting into this movement. Thrusters require good mobility. All right, so if you have trouble getting in a good front rack position, you're going to have troubles with thrusters. All right, if you have trouble getting a full ass to grass squat with a vertical torso, you're going to have trouble with thrusters. All right, if you're tight in the ankles, which again messes up your squats, your ability to get nice and low, you're going to have trouble with thrusters. If you have shoulder mobility issues, other than keeping you out of a good rack position, getting in that good overhead position with the press, you're going to have troubles with the thrusters. All right, so there's a lot of things that you need to keep in mind to help improve your thrusters. Just doing that stuff alone, improving your ankle mobility, improving your hip mobility, improving your shoulder mobility is going to help make the efficiency of this movement a lot better. All right, thrusters are awesome. Works the lower body, power in the hips, upper body. It's a full body movement. All right, so just keep that in mind before going into the movement. So with your barbell thrusters, first things first is you want to make sure you get a good rack position. So with the barbell, what I like to do is wherever my normal overhead press position is with my hands, I go just a slight bit wider. All right, that's going to give you a little bit more room to get that rack position. All right, so notice when I get the barbell into the rack position here, it's right across my shoulders. Okay, so it's being supported by my shoulders. It's not being supported with my hands. Okay, so if your elbows are down and you got a death grip on the barbell, you're not going to be as effective at this movement right here. Okay, we need to be able to get into our front rack position. It's going to make that squat portion of the movement a lot easier because we're going to be able to go into a nice front squat position, boom, and then go into an overhead press position there. So it all starts off with a good rack position, elbows up high. Okay, wrists are back. Let the barbell roll back into those fingertips. All right, where we start to have issues with wrist problems, things like that, it's when we're immobile in the lats, the shoulders, which is causing us not to get be able to get into that good front rack position. So make sure we're working on that right there so we can get in a good starting position off the bat. Okay? From there, with your squat portion of the movement, all it is front squat mechanics. All right? So, elbows up, chest tall, weight's going to be back in the heels. Now as we go down, instead of just letting our knees come forward or in, which is the last thing we want to happen, we're pushing those knees out, dropping that butt down in between the heels. All right? And from here, it's keep the knees out, drive through the heels, and right when I get to this point here, that's where I want to explode with my hips. That's the thruster portion of the movement. So instead of coming up and then just pressing with brute strength, that barbell overhead, we're using that energy and momentum that we create with the front squat here, boom, thrust, and then we're going into an overhead press. All right, so it's about being fluid with the movement. A big mistake that people can make with the thruster is they get in the full bottom position of the squat, and then they try to press too early, all right? So you're not using the momentum and the energy that you're creating from that squat. Instead, your timing's off, you're pressing a little bit too early. So you want to make sure you time it properly. So we'll go ahead and a couple reps here. Boom, we're getting nice and low, thrust. Nice and low, thrust. And as you notice, I'm going down in that front squat position. My hands are not on the bar, okay? So I'm waiting until I press the bar here, then I can roll my wrists in a good position there. So I'm in a good overhead position, my hands are wrapped around the bar, and then it's just about transitioning from here, going right back down into that front squat. All right, so it just takes some time and practice to work on this movement. Work on it with the empty barbell first, and then once you start stringing more reps together, that's when this movement becomes more effective. All right, so those are the main things that you want to focus in on. Good front squat to start, timing in the middle, so make sure we explode with those hips, and then boom, driving that barbell overhead. The last thing that I'll note here is obviously you want to get and finish in that good overhead position. So we're here, boom, lock it out at the top, okay? We don't want to be in front, leaning back here. Make sure we lock that barbell in that good overhead position. Should be tracking right behind the ears, okay? Then when we come back down, boom, right back into it, all right? So, day 5 challenge, 12 days of badassness. It's going to start off 5 heavy thrusters, 4 rounds, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, kettlebell American swings. We're going down to a snatch triple, so 3 snatches with the barbell. We're going back to 2 Turkish get-ups per side with a kettlebell or dumbbell, heaviest you can go on that. And then we're going 1 round, 25 burpees. So it's getting a lot tougher now. Hope you're sticking in the fight. We're still only just getting warmed up. This is day number 5 right here. All right, so keep pushing ahead. 110% ham like always. Live and train aggressive. Travis, I'm out.